In this video, we will search, sort, and lazy load more items using Next.js. We will filter them in two ways, in the frontend and in the backend. So let me explain the difference here. If we inspect, and we'll go to the network, if we are at the backend, if we search, we can see that every time we search, we are sending a request to the backend. Also, if we sort, and also if we lazy load. So, in the backend side, every time we search, sort, and paginate, we will send a request to the backend. In the frontend side, we'll call it only once, and we will get the products. And if we search, sort, here, we won't send a request to the backend. So everything here will be done in the frontend. So we will see the difference here between frontend and backend filtering. Before we build the app, I would like to remind you that this video can be combined with other videos. So if you want to use Next.js with any of these backend frameworks, or with MySQL or MongoDB, I provided some links in the description of this video. If you don't want to build a backend, don't worry, I have a solution for you. Also, make sure to check scalablescripts.com. Now let's use the backend without actually building it. So if you already build the backend, you can skip this part. If you don't want to build a backend, then first download Docker and download the right version for your machine. Once you download Docker and installed it, you can use this repository. I will clone this repository and I will open my terminal and run git clone this repository. Now it is cloned. Let's go to the folder, and here I will run docker compose app -d, and this will pull all the images and it will build our backend. Now let's wait till this is completed. So everything is ready now. We created the images. Still we need one last command, which is this command. I'll copy it, paste it here and run it. And now our backend is running on port 8000. So go to localhost port 8000 and this is our backend running in Laravel. Now let's start building the app. Now let's create the Next.js project. So run npx create next app, and we need the name of the app. I will call it Next Search. And let's wait till it's completed. Now it is completed. Let's open the project with my IDE. I'm using WebStorm here, and let's run the project. So to run the project, run npm run dev. And this will run our app on port 3000. And now if we click this port, we will go to this page. So this is our Next.js app. Now let's make some changes. So we will remove the styles here. We don't need them. Go to the pages. We will remove the API and the app.js. And we removed this, and we need to make changes here. So let's get a template. I will remove this class name here, and we have an error here, but it doesn't matter because we will change the template. Go to getbootstrap.com, click get started, copy the CSS link here, and we need to replace this header with the bootstrap link. So we added bootstrap now in the head. We need also the body here. So let's go to the examples and let's copy the body. The body will be this album example here. Go to the album example, view the page source, and we will copy the HTML from this album part till the first column, so till here. I will copy this and I will paste it here. We need to close some divs. So every div is closed, and this will look, so we need probably to restart the development server. And now it will look like this, which is better. We need also to change, we need to add a menu here. So before we add the menu, I would like to change this to a component, so to a layout component better, since we need to share the menu in all of the pages. So let's create here a folder, components, and inside I'll create a JavaScript file called layout. And I'll create a component here for the layout. Inside, I'll cut the head. I'll paste it here. And else what I will cut this album part and this div class container. And I will paste it here. So we need to close the divs here. And in the pages, we need to remove two divs here. And inside here, we will add first the props in the function properties here, and here we'll use props.children. So if we do it like this, we can use the layout like this. So we can replace this div with the layout like this. If we replace the div with the layout and we refresh, nothing will change. So we will get Bootstrap, we will add these divs, and in the props.children we will render this HTML. So everything is correct. I will make also another change, so I'll create another component, products, and this component will be simple. All this HTML that I just have here, I will cut it, and this will be the products component. And in the index.js, now I will put the products. So this won't change anything. So it will be still the same. Now let's add a menu. So to add the menu, again to Bootstrap, go back, and we have the headers here, and we will use this second header. So I will inspect, and I'll copy the HTML directly here. So I'll copy this HTML, and in the layout we need to paste it here. So this HTML will look like this. And now I will remove most of these LIs, and I will change these links to frontend and backend. So we have front and backend here, and we have to create two pages, one for the frontend and one for the backend. So let's create them. So we have a JavaScript file, frontend, and one is for the backend. So this is the backend, and this is the frontend. And for the moment, I'll copy whatever it is here, and I will paste it both for the frontend and also for the backend. Don't forget also the imports. And for the index, I will not show the product here, so I'll just have a layout like this. since we won't use the index anymore. Now this is the index page. It has nothing here, but we have the frontend and backend. Right now these links are not working, so we will make it work later, but now we can go to the frontend. Why it doesn't work? Maybe I need to rename it with a lowercase. So this is backend, and this is, not sure why this is moving to the other monitor, so frontend. Now that I saved it, this probably works. So it works fine. Also the backend is working fine. And now let's make these links work. Go to the layout. Here we need to import link from next link. And we need to wrap these anchor links with the link tag now. So we need to wrap them, and the link will point href to the component. In our case, this will be the front end. And I will copy this, I'll paste it here, and this will point to the backend. Also, now that we wrapped the anchor link, we need to remove href from the anchor link, and I will remove this class active. So if we save it like this and we refresh, if we click, we can see that the URL does change, but we need to add the active class because we don't know which page we are at, except if we see the URL. So let's add the active class, and to add it is a little bit different. So we have to get the router from use router. We need to import use router from next router, and we need to add the class manually because Next doesn't currently provide any functionality for it. So I'll cut this nav link here, and I will add a wrap curly braces here, and I'll make the router path name is it equal to /frontend. If yes, so question mark, then I will add this class along with active. Otherwise, I will add only this class. So this is a class name now. I'll copy this. I will do the same for the backend, except this is backend here. So with this, we can see we are at the backend page now, and we can switch between the frontend and the backend. So this part is cleared. Now we need to get products here. So let's go first to the frontend, and we need to make a call to the backend to get the products. So we will create here products and set products is equal to use state, and by default the products will be an empty array. So these are the products that we want, and we have to set them by calling the backend. So we have to use here use effect, and inside we will call an asynchronous function. So I'll call a function that calls themselves, and inside we'll have an asynchronous function. And now that we have this function, we will send a request. So response is equal to await fetch, and the endpoint is http localhost port 8000. My ID already helps me /API /products /frontend. This is the endpoint. We need to get the content, which is equal to await response JSON, And this content is all the products that we want. So we will set the products and it will be this content. So we set the products, and to send the products in this products component here, we have to use a property which we will add it in the products.js here. So here we need to add the props, and in the front end I will pass here products are equal to these products that we just set. So by sending the products like this means that in the products component we have the props here, and what is left is to loop these products. So let's loop those. So props here, products, and we need to add a map. Inside it will be a product, and we need to return an HTML here, which is this HTML. I'll paste it here, and now we have the HTML. Let's make other changes like this SVG here. So this will need to change to an image, and the source for this image will be product.image. We need to add also the height. I'll put it 200, and that's it for the image. This is the title here. I will remove this HTML, we don't need it, and this one is a price, so dollar, and also product.price. So this will look not like this, so we need to go to the front end. So use state is not defined. Why is that? Did I import it? It seems I didn't import use state from React here. So now that I imported it, let's refresh. So I use effect. I was sure I imported them. And now we got the front end and all the products here. So we got all the products in the front end. In the backend it will be the same. So I'll copy this, I'll paste it here. Also my imports are already here, and the difference here is that we need to call a backend here, and the backend will get the content, but the products won't be directly the content, but we have a property data, and here we will get all the products here because the backend will paginate the products. Now we'll put these products like we did with the front end. So products is equal to products, and that's it for the backend also. So if we go to the backend, now I know the mistake that I made. Too many requests. Every time we have this error, it means that I forgot to add here an empty array. So this is very important for both the front end and the backend, because if we put an empty array, the dependencies, this use effect will be called only once, and that's what we want. If we put something here where we will put later on, but not now, it means every time the dependency changes, we will call the use effect again. And we will see how that works, but for now, if we want to call it only once, this needs to be an empty array. And this means that this is working fine. Also, I forgot to add the key here, so this is also important. So key is equal to product.id. So we add the key. Now we will add a search for the products. So I'll wrap this with a div, and here I will paste this HTML. So this is just a simple search where we can search, and now let's add it first in the backend. We want to filter the products once we search. So first I will create in the backend and the frontend. So I'll create here a variable filters, set filters are equal to use state. This will be an object, and we will set the search here as an empty string. So I'll copy this and add it for the frontend also. So the filters will have the search, and we need to pass them here. So filters are equal to filters. So we'll pass the default values, and also when something changes, we'll set the filters. Set filters here. So we have to call this set filters once we change this input. So let's do that. I'll create a function search, and we have to call here on key up. We have to call an event that this event will call a search function. Inside we'll put event.target.value. So we need to add here a search variable. So this is a search that this input emits, and we have to use set filters now. So to use it, we have to use props set filters, and we have to pass the search as it is. With this we can emit the event. So let's go to the backend now. We are emitting this event. We are setting the filters. This value will be changed, and what do we want to do once this value changes? We want to call again the backend. So how do we do that? We have to use now the dependencies. So inside the dependency array, we have to put here the filters. Now that we put the filters here, every time this value changes, we'll call again the backend, and we have to pass the filter value. So we have to pass it like this, like question mark search is equal to the search. We can do it directly there, but I have another way. Since we will use multiple filters, I'll create an array, and I will make a question mark here. If filters is search value is set, then we'll push the array with this backticks search is equal to filters.s. So search is equal to this value. We have to add it here, so I'll change this to backticks also, and inside here I will add a question mark in the front, and this will be array join with the end sign. So this will handle all the other filters. So for the moment we will just have one, and this will be search is equal to the other value, but later we will add more, and this will take care of all of them. Now let's test this. So we are here at the backend. Let's search, and we can see the items are searched. If we search with this value, search it here, and we can see that these values are searched. These other items have this word in the description. So the search works for the backend. Let's do it also for the frontend. Let's go to the frontend, and we will emit also here the filter. And here we don't want to call the products frontend again, because we do that in the backend. In the frontend we have the products, but we have to filter them using JavaScript. So what happens when we set the filters here? we can't use this use effect, but we can use another use effect. So I'll create another use effect here, and this use effect will have a dependency of the filters. So we can add multiple use effects, and inside here we will filter the products. Before I make changes, I'll duplicate this, and I'll create two values. One is all products, the other one is set all products, and this is filtered products and set filtered products. So like this. So why did I create two values? So first let me set them. Set all products and set filtered products. So in the beginning they are the same, but we won't change at all the products. We will change only the filtered products. So let's change the filtered products here, and here I'll create a variable let products is equal to all products filter, and when this filter changes we will pass the search value. So to filter the products we have to get every product, and for every product we want the title to contain the search, so we have to use the function p.title to lowercase, because we don't want to have problems with uppercase and lowercase. So index of filters as value to lowercase also. So if this index is greater or equal than 0, then this means that this search value is inside the title. So if we got the products, then we have to set filtered products as these new products here, and here instead of products we'll put filtered products. So let's see if this works now. So we are at the front end now, and if we search we can see that items are filtered, but we are filtering only for the title, so we have to copy this. I will add another condition, and let's do the same for the description. So with this also the description will be searched, and we will have more items. So the search works also for the front end. Now let's add a sort drop down in the products. We will add it here, and this is the sort. So this is a sort, and let's sort items now. So let's do it in the backend first. This will emit an event, so let's create the function here. Sort is equal to sort, and we will call here on change is equal to event sort, and we will pass event that target that value here. So we emitted the event. Now, just like we did with the props here, we'll call props set filters, and we'll pass the sort. But this won't work, it will have a bug, which I will explain it later. So in the backend now, we'll set again the filters, and I will add another if condition here for the sort. So also we need to add the sort here, empty string. So let's do it the same for the front end. And the backend is okay. We just added an if condition, and this will be added also in the search. So in the backend now, if we search these items, we can see they are filtered. If we sort, we can see they are sorted since the items are sorted in ascending order. So this works, but the problem is now we lost the search. So we have to search again, and so we have 4 items now. If we sort descending, we have more items. Why this happens is because when we set the filters, we don't want to change the other filters. Here we set the filters with the sort, but we are overriding the search filter. That's why in the backend and in the frontend we set the filters value, but we didn't use it till now. So let's use it. When we emit events now, we have to keep the old values as they are. So from props filters here, and we have to change only the search here. So the previous values should not change, and also for the sort will work the same. So this way we'll keep the previous values and we'll change only the search and the sort, and this will make it work. So if I search with this word and I sort now with price ascending, we can see the 4 items that we have are sorted in ascending order. So the search and the sort works for the backend. Let's do it also for the frontend. Let's go to the frontend. Here we'll make the condition if filters that sort is it equal to ascending. So if filters is set to ascending, then products will be sort using the sort function, and this accepts 2 products here, so product A and product B. This function we should return either 0, -1 or 1. So 0 will be returned in the case the price is the same, -1 if the B price is greater than A, and 1 if A price is greater than B. So let's return them. We can add multiple if conditions, that is acceptable also, but I know a better way. So I'll create a variable diff, which is the difference between A.price is equal to minus B.price. So we got the difference here, and we'll make the condition if difference is equal to 0, then we return 0. So with this we took care of the 0 case. Now how about -1 and 1? So I'll create a variable sign, and this will be equal to math absolute value of the difference divided by the difference. So this returns either -1 or 1. Since if the difference is negative, this will be -1. If the difference is positive, this will return 1. So we can return directly here the sign. So we took care of the sort. Now if we sort the products in the frontend with the price ascending, we can see all the products are sorted in ascending order. So this works fine. But we didn't care, we didn't make the descending order, so this they are not sorted in descending order. To do that, we have to add again the condition here, the OR condition, or filters that sort is equal to descending, and if it is descending, we'll add it here. So filters that sort is it equal to ascending, then we will return the sign. Otherwise, if it is descending, we will return the opposite values, which is minus sign. So this will return the descending order. So price descending, we can see all the items are returned in the descending order. So now we search, we filter, and let's add the last one, which is the lazy loading or the pagination. So let's go again to the products, and here we'll add a button. This is the button. So it is a load more button. When we click this button, we want to add more items. So before we add functionality here, let's add here in the filters, we want to add the page by default is 1. So let's do it the same for the front end. And now we got the page, and let's add a click for this button. Let's create a function load more, and this won't take any parameters. When we click on click load more, here we'll do the same, but this time we will just increment the page to props filters page plus 1. So here we are just increasing the page, and now let's handle it in the backend. So just like this, we can call here the filter for the page. So everything is taken care of, but this won't work. I will show you why. Now we are the backend, click load more. We can see the items are changed, but we are moving to the next page. We are not adding them. We are not concatenating the products here. So this is just like pagination, but it's not like lazy loading. How do we solve this problem now? So when we set the products here, we have to concatenate the previous products with the new content data here. So if we want to concatenate them, we can use the spread operator like this. So we'll create a new array. We'll spread the content data, and also we will add in the front the previous products. Like this, we'll have the previous products, and also we will concatenate the new products. So this will work for this part, but we will have another problem. So let's refresh. We have the products here, load more. As we can see, the items are added more. So this works, but we'll have a problem once we search items now that are not filtered, and actually we are adding more items. Why is that? Is because we are always concatenating here. So we have to make the condition. So filters page, is it equal to 1? If it is page 1, then we will just add the new data here. Otherwise, we will concatenate them. But once we search, we don't set the page to 1, so we have to do that. Now, if we search, we will set the page to 1, and also if we sort. So this is a change. Every time we search and we sort now, we will start from the beginning. And with this, let's refresh. We can load more items. This works fine. And also if we search, we can see that we can also load more items like this. So this works fine. Now the button is not should not show right now, because these are the only items appearing, but we will fix that later, because we have to add the pagination in the front end. So let's go to the front end now, and here we have to create a variable. How many items per page do we want? So I will create a variable per page, which is equal to 9. We want 9 items per page, and when we set the filtered products here, in the beginning we'll use a slice function. So content slice from 0 from the beginning till filters that page times per page. So in the beginnings we will get only 9 items also in the front end. Now when we call the use effect here also, we have to do the same thing for the products. So we have to slice them from 0 till filters page times per page. So this is really simple. Now in the front end we can load more items. So this works fine, and also this works also for the search, and this works fine. Now let's remove the button if we reach the last page. So let's go first to the backend, and for the last page in the backend, we have already the last page in the request. First, let's create the variable last page, set last page here, which is equal to use state. By default is initialized with 0. So we have the last page here, and let's set it from the backend. Set last page is content last underscore page. So with this we set the last page, and we have to pass it here. So last page is equal to last page. So the products now will have the last page, and if we reach the last page we won't show this. So I'll cut this, and I'll create a variable button, and the button will be equal to this, and we will show it here. So button. So we have to wrap this with a condition now. If a condition, we will wrap the button. The condition now is props filters page it should be different than props last page. So this is a condition. If we reach the last page, which these are equal, then the button won't appear here. So it's that simple. Let's do it in the backend now. Let's load more items, and as we can see, this is removed. Also, if we search this word and there are only 4 items, we can see the button is still removed. Let's do it the same for the front end, and for the front end we have to calculate ourselves the last page. So let's get this variable also here, and here we will set the last page, and the last page will be math.ceil content length divided by per page length. So this is the last page in the beginning. We have to set it also here. Set last page to, I'll copy this, but this time is not the content but is the products, and that's it. Let's pass also the last page here, and this should be cleared also for the front end. Let's go to the front end now, and if we load more items we can see it is removed also. this is removed also. So this is how we search, sort and lazy load in the frontend and also in the backend using Next.js. I hope you liked this tutorial, and if you did, also make sure to share and subscribe. Thank you.